In this video, we're going to see how to run SQL Server in Docker. So the easiest way I know of is to use Visual Studio Code. Let's open Visual Studio Code. And from here, I'm going to open the Extensions tab over here. And here, I'm going to look for SQL Server. And as you can see, the first option we get is SQL Server MS SQL by Microsoft. This is the one we want, so let's choose this option and install this extension. So it's now installing, okay, and it's done. And as you can see, we now have two new tabs, the Database Projects tab and the SQL Server tab. Let's open this tab, the SQL Server tab, this one, and it will take a minute to load, so let's wait. Okay, and it has quite a lot of prerequisites, so it takes a minute to load, but eventually it's done. And now what we're going to do is click here, where it says New Deployment. So let's choose this option. And from here, I'm going to create local Docker SQL Server. So this is the option we want. I'm going to choose this one. And of course, you need to have Docker installed on your system. I have Docker installed, so it's fine. Then we need to click on Get Started. And it's now making sure that Docker is installed and ready. And of course, it found out that on my computer, Docker is installed and ready. So we can click on Next. We then need to select the image we want. As you can see, you have several options. You can go with SQL Server 2019, 2022, or 2025. This is what I'm going to choose. And we then need to provide a password for the new SQL Server. And I'm also going to save password. And you can also provide the profile name if you want. I'm just going to leave it blank. We need to accept the terms and conditions, and then we can create the container. So the first time you're doing that, it will take much longer because it has to pull the image for the container. I already did it before, so for me it was pretty quickly. And when it's done pulling the SQL Server image, it's going to set up the container. And it's done. So let's finish this step. And now we have our new SQL Server in the container. So we can expand this, and now we can run SQL queries right on this new container. So I'm going to right click on it and choose New Query. And let's, as an example, try to create a new database. So create database, and let's call it example DB. And if I now want to run this query, I need to click here, execute query. And you can see here under query history that the query was successfully run. If I now expand databases, I can see the example DB that we just created. And if I expand this database, I can see all of its contents, such as the tables, views, and so on.